Hello, did you miss me? I missed y'all. I missed y'all too. So, me and Chris had the COVID. It was our first time ever having it. And that was a pretty rough week. Started feeling better, day and a half, and then bam, got sick again. It was a sickness that was secondary to COVID, and it was worse than the COVID. Don't know what it was, but it was the chest congestion, the headache, nausea, vomiting, as weak as a newborn kitten, and that lasted for a week. So he had a milder version of it, but we've been kind of puny for a long time, and this is my first time getting back on the film. So I apologize for the big delay, but I'm back. Not 100%, but I'm back. So I wanted to bring y'all along on a recipe that I saw on TikTok or Instagram Reels. I don't remember now. But prior to us getting sick, I had tested it out and it was a winner. So I thought I'd make it for y'all today. It's so easy, it's so good, and you need to make this. So I'm gonna bring you over to the stove and we'll get cooking. Like I said, super easy and you'll love it. Okay, so what I've got in this pot is 2 sticks of butter that I have melted. Ooh, splash. And a half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to turn this back on. I had to go out and chase my dog, so I had to take it off the heat. And you're just going to mix this and let it cook until the brown sugar is dissolved in it. It's very familiar tasting to the cow patty cookies, the 1 minute cookies, the chocolate oatmeal peanut butter no-bake cookies. Similar taste profile, similar ingredients, but it is so good. So we're going to let that sit here and let that brown sugar kind of dissolve in there. Okay, we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla and 3 cups of rolled oats. And we're going to let this cook. I'm going to actually turn it down on a low and let it cook for 3 minutes. Get it all mixed in. And when I assemble it, I'm doing mine different than what the video did, just for ease, and it turned out fine. Alright, we're going to let that cook for 5 minutes. In this bowl, I have got 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and a half a cup of peanut butter. I'm going to put this in the microwave and let it all melt together. Okay, that cooked for about 5 minutes. Heated up the chocolate chips and the peanut butter. It took about an hour and 30 seconds. So I have got an 8x8 square pan. You can use a 9x9. And I got a piece of parchment paper. And I'm going to spray it with some cooking spray just so it's easier to get out. And I'm going to put the oatmeal mixture in. Now the video that I watched, she put half the oatmeal mixture in and then put the chocolate mixture on top of that, and then the other half. But I'm not going to do that. You can do that. mash it down into the pan. Get it into the corners. Okay. And then we're going to pour the chocolate. Over the top. Now this hardens, this goes into the refrigerator and it stays in the refrigerator. So it stays hard so the chocolate's not messy with it being on top. But you can do it half and half. How easy was that? Voila. I'm going to leave this sitting out on the counter to cool down, and then it's going to go into my refrigerator at least for a couple of hours to get it hardened, and then you just slice it up in cubes, but I'll show you that process when we get there. Super simple, super delicious. I'm going to make those for Thanksgiving for sure. I got 1.5 more things to show you, so hang on. Okay, my shirt's kind of clingy. I was gifted some eggplants from a man at church, and I'm going to show you a great way to preserve these up. It's an Italian recipe for pickled eggplant. It's delicious on salads, on sandwiches, as a side dish. I was really hesitant about this, but it's good. It is delicious. So I am peeling the eggplant. You need to peel the eggplant for this recipe. You can use a knife or a vegetable peeler like I'm doing. So I'm going to peel these up, and then I'll be back in just a second. Okay, got them peeled up. We're going to slice them pretty thin. Don't worry about the seeds. If you like pickled vegetables, these are not fermented. You could probably ferment them. But if you like those kind of like relishes, this is one to make. Not a whole lot of stuff you can do with eggplant. And when I get it, I'm not ready for it, so I just like this idea. I've got a bunch of eggplant that I had froze last year that I'll probably do the same thing with, but I thought since I had these fresh, I'd just go ahead and do that instead of getting the ones out of the freezer, because they're vacuum sealed and in good shape. They have turned a little bit brown, but these will turn brown too, you'll see. If you got bigger, longer ones, you can just cut these in longer strips too. So I'm going to finish cutting up these. I'm going to put them in this bowl. and then I'll be back. Okay, I got them all sliced up French fry style. And to this, I'm going to add probably 2 tablespoons, a tablespoon and a half of salt. And then you're gonna mix it really good. Make sure the salt is covering it. What the salt is, one is for flavor, but its main purpose is to draw the moisture out. Eggplant has a lot of moisture, a lot of water in it. So, we want to get as much out as possible. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to get the one that I started yesterday and bring it over, and we'll finish it up. I'm kind of going to, you're not going to see one step, but I will explain it to you. You have this. You're going to put this in a fine colander, and you're going to weight it down over a bowl. And I'm going to show you how I weighted this step down. And I do the same way. You're going to weight it down, cover it, and let it sit for at least 12 hours. Okay? When the 12 hours is up, you're going to have a lot of liquid collected in your bowl. You want to give it a good squeeze and get any remaining moisture out. You can even, like in a clean kitchen towel, wring it that way, but I just squeeze with my hands. I tasted one to see how salty it was, because I don't really know the appropriate salt measurements. I just salt it, and then I can adjust later for less or more. It was a little bit too salty, so I just gave it a real quick run under the sink, and then squeezed and squeezed and squeezed again. Okay, so we're at that. I did that step this morning. After you do that, you're going to just add white vinegar to the eggplant, let it sit in a bowl, and I didn't cover the eggplant with white vinegar. I probably just did a couple of glunks and mix the vinegar up and let it sit for a couple of hours. And then, this is a heavy pot I put on, and then I put a plate and strained the vinegar out. So this feels very dry. I'm gonna give it a taste test. Delicious. Okay, I'm gonna rinse this bowl out. Okay, so eggplant in the bowl. Now that, you know, when you're putting the vinegar in, don't cover it. You don't need a whole lot, just a couple of glunks, and then mix it up. Okay, to this, I'm gonna add probably half a teaspoon of oregano. That's optional, but it's good. And you can also put some chopped garlic cloves in here at this point, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to use some garlic powder. Then I just want to do like a enough oil to coat it. And your amounts of eggplant are going to be different. This was 2 eggplants. Okay, let me taste that. Oh my gosh, that's so good. If you want a kick to it, you can add some red pepper flakes. Okay, so I've just got a jar. It can be a canning jar, can be a used pasta jar, any kind of jar. Don't have to be one that's gonna, because we're not canning this or anything, we're preserving in olive oil. This jar's a little bit too big, but it'll be okay. And then you just want to top it with olive oil. And just make sure that it's covered. And there you go. It's shelf stable. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Okay, so, oops, okay, we're gonna get this that we just did with the salt. I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna put a plate. I'm gonna put this heavy pot, and I'm gonna cover it. Set it to the side, and in the morning, what is, oh, that's that, oh, the towel was in my chocolate stuff. What in the world? Oh. Hang on. My towel laid in the chocolate stuff we just made. Okay. Cover it. Set it aside. In the morning, we're gonna drain it real good. I'm gonna do a taste test, see if it's too salty. If it is, I'll do a taste test before I drain it. Real good, squeeze it. If it's too salty, I'll rinse it just a little bit and squeeze, 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 squeeze. Add a couple glunks of vinegar, mix it up. I'll do that when I first get up in the morning, so while I'm getting ready, it can kind of sit and marinate in the vinegar, and then I'll set up the straining process again and let it go until tomorrow night. Easy stuff. It's time consuming, but it's easy. And it's delicious. So just keep tasting, and you get to a taste that you like. Chocolate everywhere, chocolate everywhere. Okay, I'll be back. So, what do you do while you're sick? You look on the internet and you order stuff. But I've been wanting to find a thrift store or something, a food processor that has the slicing and shredding attachment, because mine broke and I don't have a slicer attachment. My model of my blender and food processor, they don't make one. So I was looking online, and my Bosch mixer has those attachments, and they're not very bad priced at all. So I ordered it. So it comes like this, and it has 3 different discs. And so I'm going to read over the instructions here and see how this goes. Alright, got this part. I've washed everything. No, I didn't wash this. It's in a bag. I don't guess it matters. So this little piece goes right here. Okay, there you go. All right, hang on. All right, I'm gonna shred some cheese. I need some shredded cheese for what we're gonna have for dinner tomorrow night, which I'm gonna bring you along for the ride. I was gonna cook it tonight, but I'm just not really feeling it. So I've got some Parmesan. It's starting to go moldy around here, but we'll just cut those edges off. That ain't no thing. Okay, so I took the bad ends off. That's good. So let's try this sucker out. Kind of squeaky. Sounds like it needs oiled up. Oh yeah. It works good. So if you've got a Bosch, they have all kind of attachments just like the KitchenAid does. So that is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, let me this back on. Okay. I went ahead, I shredded this much mozzarella, and it was that 5-pound block that I had gotten from Azure, the raw mozzarella. So I shredded the whole 5-pound thing, and the whole 5 pound of cheese fit in my Bosch container. So that's awesome, awesome, awesome. But I went ahead and shredded it all up. I've got it over here on freeze dry trays. I'm on freeze dry cheese for the first time. I've not ever done that. And then this one right here is mushrooms. I had bought a container. That's close. I had bought a container of mushrooms, and I love to buy them when I don't need them, and then slice them up and freeze dry them. And they're awesome for recipes. So anyway, Parmesan mozzarella is going into the refrigerator for our recipe, which it's not going to take all this, but for tomorrow night. And then I've got my pretty sure are cooling off, and those will go in. And like I said, I put the chocolate oatmeal stuff, I don't even know what the name of it is, I have to come up with a name, in the refrigerator. So when that gets cool and firm, we will cut them up and do a taste test. I know what they taste like, but for y'all's benefit. Ta-da! Just got out of the refrigerator. You can just pop that out. And I'm gonna slice it. That's hard. Got chocolate on my hand. So good. Okay. It almost tastes healthy, but it's not. Chocolate and peanut butter. So I'm just gonna put these, when I cut them up into little squares, put it back in here, and I'll put some cellophane on top of it and put it back in the refrigerator. That is so good. You got to try it. You got to. You got to. You got to. Or you could just like pick up the whole thing. Just kidding. Okay. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. I'm back. I missed you guys a lot. So tomorrow night we're going to cook supper, and if I can think about it in the morning when I'm doing my eggplant stuff, I'll try to remember and film that so you can kind of see that step that you didn't get to see. So I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great week, and if you haven't already to subscribe, please hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I have missed reading comments, and I love you. Bye.